Hey guys, my name is Kason. Thank you for joining me on this very gloomy fall day. Today we're going to talk about my favorite thing in the whole wide world, M1 helmets. I have about 7 of them, but today we're going to be talking about the 5 World War II made ones I have. I'm a nerd, so a lot of this might not make sense unless you do research on helmets yourself. I'm just kind of going over what I have. I'm not explaining when these helmets were made or all the little features about them. I'll just go over if they're front seam, back seam, if you know what that means. And all these are swivel bail. I don't know if I say them or if I tell them off or whatever, but I think this will be a fun video. This is the first video on my channel, so I hope you enjoy. This right here is the first M1 helmet I got. It is front seam stainless steel. It has the heat stamp of 838A. I'll add in photos later of my magic editing skills. It is missing one of its swivel bails. On the outside this side looks really good. The other side looks pretty rough. There's mixtures of lime green and dark green, so this might have been repainted a couple times. There's a big old dent up in the front center with a lot of debris dents all around. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but I was really excited to get this helmet. This was my first helmet I ever purchased, so it's always got that really soft, what's the word? Sentimental spot in my heart. And on to the next one. Alright, with that smooth transition, we are on to the next M1 helmet. This one is the second helmet I got. It's also front steam. I got this from a military show. The heat stamp I have not been able to find. I can find the D in it, but I'll again show a photo, but I can't find any other letters besides that. The inside still has original paint. The outside is also original paint. It does have Vietnam chin straps, which means this probably could have saw 2 or 3 wars. It could have been World War II, Korea and Vietnam, or just World War II and Vietnam, which I find pretty interesting. Again, has some signs of corrosion and rust spots. A lot of the paint is off the stainless steel edge. For the liner, it is also World War II, and this one has been repainted a couple times. There's little gaps in between. It has its rank hole in the middle. It has majority of its OD3 webbing with the nape strap. The chin strap, or not the chin strap, sorry, the chin strap is missing. The sweatband also has an OD7 darker green, which means it was probably replaced either towards the end of World War II or somewhere between World War II and Vietnam. There's a B-23 in red paint on the side. I don't quite know what that means, so if anybody knows what that means, you can let me know in the comments. But again, this is all original right here. Haven't touched much on it besides to get rid of surface rust, and it is also a very nice piece to my collection. M1 helmet number 3. This guy right here has its original cork texture, original paint, and it is a rear seam. And like the 3 past helmets, it is also a McCord. I'm going to start with the shell. The liner and the shell are different. I didn't buy them together at all. The heat stamp on this one is 1246C, so a very, very late World War II made model. I doubt this ever saw combat, at least in World War II. It could have seen combat in Korea or Vietnam, but I believe from what I've been heard, or what I've been told, is that the McCord helmets went up to 1300. It does have a post-war chin strap, so again, it could have seen some other combat. We'll now go on to the liner. The liner, like I said, is separate. It has, I believe, the original paint on it, or what's left of the original paint. It has the rank hole up front, and I restored this one. Not my best job, but I did restore it. It is a Westinghouse, and I know it doesn't have the best not chin strap, but it doesn't have a chin strap. It doesn't have the best sweatband on it right now, but I like the OD3 khaki coloring of the webbing. So overall, also love these two guys right here. Alright, now we're getting to the last two helmets, and the last two I have restored myself. When it comes to restorations, I try to refrain from it unless I'm going to be using it for movie use or reenacting use. And when it comes to restorations, if it has original paint, I don't touch it. If it has some cool history or background behind it, I usually don't touch it. But for the next couple helmets, they were repainted post-war, they were rusty and all that stuff. So the first one right here is my first Schluter, or my first and only Schluter. You can tell it's a Schluter because it has more of a straight edging to it, and on the inside there's also a heat stamp for it. But I have the OD3 khaki web chin strap. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. And a chin strap from the liner. So I'm going to take this off. It's a pain to get off and on with the net, but I'll do it for you guys. I might cut ahead here because it takes a hot second to get it out. Alright, now that we have it off, this is also swivel bail, and the heat stamp is 442A with a big old S under it for Schluter. The shell itself, on the inside, still has its original paint. It was painted black post-war when I first purchased the helmet, and I believe this is a great find. It also has rear seam, if I didn't say that. And the net is also reproduction, obviously. I have cut it with rocks and or such. With the liner has more of an interesting story. I bought this from At the Front. When I bought it, most of the liner's paint had chipped off, except for in the front, it had Craddock on it. Unfortunately, that also chipped off, but I can't figure out who Craddock was at all, but I still put the last name on the front of the helmet, obviously. And it has the rank hole. This, I believe, is a Firestone, yep. And this one I did a good job of restoring. The OD webbing, good chin strap, good, I keep forgetting the name, good sweatband. I don't know why I keep thinking the name. And on the inside as well, there's a little piece of tape here that has Craft Otis R, or Otis R Craft. I haven't been able to find much about him, and I would believe this is the guy who would have originally worn the helmet back in World War II. So yeah, I also did repaint this one, obviously. And this is my first restored helmet set. Alright, and this is the last helmet on the list. And for this helmet, when I'm talking about it, I'm going to refrain from using the word or just blanking in general. So, this is also a front seam, and I was very excited to restore a front seam helmet because it was, but like this, I also put OD3 chin straps on it. This one, I don't have it on around the back, I just have it loose and dangling. I did do a really nice, I feel like I did at least, a good nice job texturing with the cork. The color is also really nice. And we're going to look at the shell inside and liner. Okay, I have cork all over me. Alright, starting with the shell. On the inside, also swivel bail. Again, I'm still looking for a fixed bail helmet. When I repainted helmets, it was very rusty on the inside. I'll show some more photos about that. But I didn't paint where the heat stamp is, and because it's not stamped very well. The heat stamp is actually my earliest heat stamp. This is 91A. So if it being 91A, I believe this might have been fixed bail originally, and then over the wars, it probably was given the swivel bail it has now. Also McCord, like the other four, excluding the one I went over last. And there's not much else to talk about besides there's a couple dents up top. Nothing too major or drastic though. And overall, this is a very, very nice World War II helmet. And last thing to talk about today is the helmet liner here that I need to repaint because it's very splodgy. And although the splodgy effect is kind of nice and I like it, but it's not really historically correct. This also has a big old crack right here, rank hole right here. Again, restored by me. There's the OD3, very similar to the last one. Chin strap, sweatband, OD coloring, but this one also is named Bryce J. Miller with I believe his ID number 174-00467, which I believe is really cool to know that there was a name and someone who wore this helmet and possibly wore it through combat. But yeah, this liner, I just need to touch up on it a little bit, and then I think it'll look really cool. But that does go to that helmet, and that is basically all of them. Alright, thank you for joining me throughout this video about me explaining what some would find boring and some to be very interesting. One man's trash is another man's treasure. For me, these are definitely treasure and not trash at all. I think collecting M1s is pretty fun because they all have a different story to them. Some have been through numerous wars, like maybe this one. I'm trying not to step on dog poop out here, so I'll end it soon. Thank you for watching. Stick around if you like these kinds of videos. I am doing more in the future. My name is Kaysen, and adios.